Hello, thank you for joining me today for part 3 of our AI to 3D series, as we take a look at 3D layout and rendering within ComfyUI, using some of the assets we generated in the last video, 3D modeling and texturing in ComfyUI using Microsoft's Trellis 2. But this should also work with any existing 3D models you already have as well, whether generated or created. I'll be showcasing this technique using a simple sci-fi scene, but this could be great for product marketing renders, or anywhere you want to have more control of the layout and composition of your final image. We'll get started in ComfyUI by placing a Load 3D and Animation node. I'm going to create 2 more so we can have a 3-asset composition, but you chain these together in the same fashion here to have as many of these nodes as you need. And while I'm doing this example all within ComfyUI, this section could be done in your favorite DCC and ported into Comfy as image data as well. For now, let's see what we can do entirely in ComfyUI natively. Next, let's get an image composite masked node. And the way the chaining here works is from left to right. Connect image to source, and then from the next load node, connect image to destination and mask to mask. I'll get a new image composite masked node and connect the image out of the last image composite masked node to the source of the new one. Then the image and mask of the next load node get connected to the destination and mask, respectively. And that's how the chaining works. If you need more assets for your layout, you can chain them together in this manner. I should also mention that from left to right also indicates the Z order in which these items will be composited. So do keep that in mind as you set this up. I've also added 3 preview mask nodes connected to our load nodes, and I'm importing some of the assets we made in our last video. This is so we can test our image masks along the way. Next, I'll need a mask combiner node. And for each load node, I'll need an invert mask node. So go ahead and wire those up, mask to mask for each, and then we can connect these each to our mask combiner node. Add another preview mask node and connect it from our mask combiner node. They're all 3 assets live in a combined mask now. We'll also want a preview image node off to the side. And now let's get an apply mask to image node and wire in our mask to mask and image to image. Connect that to our preview image node and run the workflow to test. Make any adjustments, run the workflow again, and you'll see that this updates very quickly. Now select all the nodes and Control-C to create a comment box. Next, we'll work on the section that takes our masked layout image and feeds it through a ControlNet. And because we're going to use Stable Diffusion XL, the ControlNets are quite powerful, and we have a lot of options. In this section, we'll set up 2, and then if you need more, you can see how they chain together as well. So let's drop a load checkpoint node, and here I'm selecting the Juggernaut XL model. It's my favorite SDXL model. I'll put a link in the description. Next, we'll need 2 clip text encodes. I'll use the common color values of green and red to denote positive and negative prompts. Then you'll need a K-sampler just parked off to the side for now. And now get an apply ControlNet, and then a load ControlNet model. I'll be using the Diffusion PyTorch Model Pro Max Safe Tensors here. Again, I'll put a link in the description. You should be able to find all these models in the Model Manager as well, just FYI. Now we just need to hook everything up, and because everything is color-coded, it makes it hard to plug anything in the wrong place. Thanks ComfyUI. Next, we can plug in the output from the apply mask from earlier into our ControlNet. I'm going to unplug that model connection to the K-sampler for now and get an AIO, auxiliary processor. This will be where we can select which ControlNet we want to use. I'm also changing the resolution to 1024. I'll be selecting the depth anything preprocessor first. Now we can duplicate the ControlNet and preprocessor and reorganize our graph a little. OK, connect the outs from the first ControlNet to the inputs of the new one. Connect the model and don't forget the VIA like I did. Don't worry, I'll remember in a moment. In the meantime, I like to use a few more preview image nodes to see what our ControlNet is generating. Now we're ready to hook everything up to our K-sampler. We'll also need a VOE, encode to bring in our image and prepare it to connect to the latent image on the K-sampler. We can add a VOE, decode to the end of the chain here and just before a save image node. Again, I always like to use the dated folder formatting in my save image node to keep things organized. I'll also add another comment box for this section. And a few last nudges to organize things a little better. Now I'll prompt with a description of a sci-fi scene with a thief, rocky landscape on an alien planet, or something to that effect. And I'll get ready for our first complete generation using this workflow. Well, they can't all be winners, but I think we can make some adjustments to get better results, and I want to do a few more tests, repositioning things and playing with the settings. But at least I can see that shapes are adhering to the ControlNet we've set up fairly well, maybe too well. We can always make adjustments to allow it more or less freedom when generating. Let's look at a few other examples I did using different characters that I generated using Trellis 2 from the workflow used in the previous video from the AI to 3D series. We're going to be looking into preparing some of these assets for use in Unreal Engine, and another subject that I'm excited about starting is where we'll use Anthropic's Claude to generate blueprints, and much more directly from inside the Unreal Engine editor. So please do subscribe and check back often. So that's it. Thank you for joining today. Links to the workflow used and the models we generated in this video can all be found in the description below. And if you liked this video and would like to see more like these, please consider supporting the channel with a like and subscribing below. Thank you so much and have a great day.